On August 13th, Canyon Vista Medical Center announced Mr. Scott Avery as their new CEO. With over 27 years of senior leadership experience in both civilian and military healthcare operations, we are excited to get to know him better today on this edition of Someone You Should Know with Jeff Davenport, brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, SSVEC, serving our community. First of all, Scott, thank you so much for your time today. I know you're really busy, so I can't thank you enough for sitting with us and chatting with us a little bit about your new digs and new surroundings here. So while you're new to Cochise County, you're not new to LifePoint, the owner of Canyon Vista Medical Center, or to a military community, which I know a lot of us can relate to and appreciate. So because of the large population of our area, they're here due to the military. I'd like to start by asking you about your 30-year military career. What was your MOS and what were some of your favorite duty stations?
Well, certainly. So I spent 30 years in the military. I was a medical service corps officer. That gave me the opportunity to see things both from a tactical perspective as a medical platoon leader in an armored battalion, going to Desert Storm as a lieutenant, to hospital administration, where I was able to run all of the hospitals in the Pacific for my last assignment, where everybody feels sorry for me and living in Honolulu, Hawaii. So yeah, that's horrible. Surfing after yard work is okay.
Is that something did you learn to do surfing, or did you already know how to surf?
Well, no, that was where we learned, and more my kids learned than I did.
Okay.
So it was good. But favorite assignments, there's really a lot. I mean, that first assignment out of officer basic course out of college was so formative, but that was just the beginning. And so I had the opportunity to go to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where I served in the Ready Response Force for our nation. Deployed all over the globe, flying medevac, having a good old time, and then they decided it was time for you to transition into administration. So had the opportunity then to lead hospitals at Fort Benning, Georgia, and that was just a great opportunity too. So really, Fort Bragg, Germany.
We're in Germany. We always love talking about the spots.
3 times. I spent a total 8 years over there. Well, 4. I was an exchange student in college as well.
Oh, no way.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So in Cologne, I was an exchange student. I lived also then near Frankfurt, up near Elvis's stomping grounds in Friedberg, but north of there. And then near Nuremberg in Katterbach, and then Wiesbaden, which is where actually my oldest child was born in Germany. So.
I lived in Ansbach.
Did you really?
I did. I went there. I was in 5th through 8th grade in Ansbach, Germany, right there. That was the mid to late 80s. So again,
I wasn't sure on the age.
We're just geeking out.
I was afraid that I was going to be.
It's
Ansbach,
we'll have to talk after this and,
that's right.
and remember about all of that Bavaria.
Oh, it was good. We loved living in Bavaria. As a matter of fact, my son, when he graduated from high school, there was a lot going on in Mexico at the time, and so I said, hey, how about we do a little trip to Germany? So we actually went and visited there in Prague and a few other places. So.
That's awesome. So a world traveler, not just because of the military, but also in addition. Now, when you were a student, an exchange student, did you have an idea that you were going to go into the military at that point and see the world? Well,
I was in ROTC at the time, and they paid actually for me to be an exchange student. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was fabulous.
What a great opportunity. My goodness.
It was.
So from a leadership standpoint, using all of that experience, what do you see as the main differences between a civilian hospital and a military hospital? And what's the challenge in terms of mindset when switching from one to the other?
Yeah, there's probably more similarities than there are differences.
Okay.
They're both mission driven. They're both about the patient. We both keep quality in mind. In the military, really the primary mission is readiness for our soldiers to be able to deploy and serve our nation. And then for us to be able to either provide those services or, like Fort Huachuca and R.W. Bliss, provide access and pathways for them to get care outside in the civilian sector. In civilian healthcare, it's all about access. It's about access and quality, and then fiscal stewardship. And those things are a little bit different. Probably the biggest difference, though, is the competitive nature of healthcare, whether it be differences between, local communities, local hospitals that you're competing with, or others. But But I find that here in Cochise County, it's more of a synergistic approach where we're all part of a system working together to care for the the citizens of Cochise County.
I love that. What were some of your most proud achievements while being in the military, in maybe military healthcare or just the military in general?
Yeah, there's just so many opportunities for me to be proud of the work that my soldiers did, not necessarily me. I'm most proud probably of looking out today and seeing people that I mentored that are in senior leadership today. Not about my things that I've done, but the things that they're doing. So, but from deploying and during the surge in 2007 and 8, and being responsible, the number 2 responsible for all medical health care in Iraq was a pretty proud moment for that 15-month deployment where my 3rd child was born while I was gone.
Wow.
But also, at Fort Benning where we were able to build a new hospital and to move into it and show the community the investment that our nation's made in their care and their health.
And you mentioned that you were a helicopter pilot, right?
Correct.
So there's a helipad here as well. Are we going to see you behind the wheel or in the cockpit there to be able to make some fun runs?
And I've talked to Sheriff Daniels because I understand they have two
That's
two
true.
helicopters as well. So I tried to see if one of them needed a weekend pilot, somebody part-time, but I haven't gotten either one of them to bite yet. So,
just a matter of time,
we'll see.
You keep pushing, and it could be there.
Yeah, and maybe, who knows, I might need to start a 3rd career.
Oh, yeah, exactly, I'm sure. No, we're talking to Scott Avery, the new CEO here at Canyon Vista Medical Center. Now, Scott, thank you for your military service. Thank you for serving our country, and to all those who are currently serving or have served our country. We appreciate you so much more than we can ever say. Thank you for your service. Now, you've been with LifePoint, the company that owns Canyon Vista, since 2017, and most recently served as the COO of Paris Regional Health in Paris, Texas.
Yeah.
Now, that city and Lamar County as a whole is a very rural area, much like Cochise County. While Cochise County is maybe twice the size in population of Lamar County, we're still rural. And my question is, what do you see as the primary role of a rural medical facility? And do you see Canyon Vista Medical Center fulfilling that role in this community?
Well, the primary role is to be that anchor for healthcare within the community, and for us to provide access to care for the community and to coordinate care. Our mission, making communities healthier with LifePoint, is laudable, and we take that mission seriously. And then when we can't provide, or for whatever reason we can't provide that care, our mission then is to create those pathways to tertiary care up in Tucson in this case, or for us it was in the Dallas Metroplex. So very, very similar. And yes, we're absolutely doing that. That's one of the challenges right now, and we'll get into that, I think, maybe a little bit. But creating that capacity and access to care is absolutely number one for a rural hospital.
And quality of care kind of coincides with innovation. Innovation has been a critical facet to improving the quality of care here at Canyon Vista Medical Center. What ideas or programs did you implement during your tenure in Paris that you feel are maybe needed here in Cochise County and here at Canyon Vista Medical Center over the short term, over the next 6 months to 2 years?
In the short term, it's access and creating that capacity that right now we're turning away patients that want to come here to Canyon Vista and get care. And we're turning them away, saying, no, you got to go to Tucson. And so we need to create that access to quality care here in Sierra Vista, here in Cochise County, to do that. And so that means operational excellence. And that's something that I bring to the table through my military career. I understand operations. I'm able to do that. And I think you're going to see a big difference here in the short term. Another thing you need to do is we need to leverage technology. I mean, AI is here, and some of you may have made a little bit of money on Palantir over time. I don't know. My kids are very interested in AI and Palantir, but Palantir has a set of tools that they use in healthcare, not just for capturing Osama bin Laden, but but also in healthcare, and they have a fabulous tool that they put on top of our medical record, our electronic health record, and it's an OR scheduling tool that just is a game changer. And so I'm going to bring that. We piloted that in Paris for the company.
Wow.
And we're going to use that here in Canyon Vista.
What was it like being a part of that pilot program, saying, hey, we're going to, it's risky when you do pilot programs, but you had enough confidence knowing that this could be the game changer that it turned out to be?
Right. So how you get picked for that, though, is demonstrating that, you can handle that type of innovation, that type of change, right? And so we had that reputation in Paris for being that hospital that was selected for doing that. And I'm going to make this Canyon Vista the place where people come for innovation. And so, yeah, it's very exciting. It was a little bit nerve-wracking and a little skeptical, but it's proven its worth. And now the next step is the Foundry tools, which is an inpatient tool that we're also working with in Paris and hope to bring here possibly as phase 2.
Fantastic. Well, you talked about patient care, and obviously patient care is the ultimate measuring stick when it comes to success in the healthcare industry. And even though Canyon Vista was already an A-rated hospital, already an A-rated medical facility, what strategies are in place to make this patient care experience even better? That's something that people care most about.
Right. And so the biggest thing to remember about being an A-rated hospital is it's not a destination. So it's not like you get your grade at the end of the semester and it's over. It's a journey. And so we have to stay on that journey and maintain the quality programs that we have out there and really never lose focus of where we are and where we're going. And it has to be at the foundation of everything we do. So providing that access to quality care is the number one mission for what we do. So resourcing our nurses, making sure that there's nothing getting in the way of the primary goal, which is for a provider, a nurse or a doctor, to have an engagement, a quality engagement with the patient. So all the rest of us around that are there for that patient engagement, making that a quality engagement for the patient is the number one priority.
Beautiful. And with industry-wide staffing shortages, how important is it for Canyon Vista Medical Center to retain that critical and crucial relationship with Cochise College and the medical programs that are there?
Well, first of all, Dr. Perry has been an outstanding partner in the short time that I've been here, and I look forward to working with him for the next 5 or 6 years. Having that staff that's homegrown, lives in Cochise County, is from Cochise County, wants to care for their grandma and their aunt, their uncle, their neighbor, that's where it's all at in rural health care. And so having those programs, the right programs, and the ability to grow our own is where we survive, where we thrive. I can always bring in contract labor from outside, and that's just no good. And so we have some right now, so we have to absolutely foster that relationship with Cochise College, but we also need to look past that and look at the University of Arizona, and we have internal medicine residency and family medicine residency programs here in the hospital,
and that's still local. I mean, U of A is still very local to us.
Exactly. So it's right down the street.
Yeah.
And so it's not I guess it's an all of the above approach.
Yeah.
And so we have to look across the board and see where we can get that solution. And it may be that they either, well, can't is not a word I like to use, but maybe it's not appropriate for us to have those programs here. Then we need to have those partnerships in Tucson or other places where we can have people rotate in here for their training. So that's the idea. Yeah.
Well, in your experience, how does a hospital develop and maintain that strong image in the community that it serves?
Well, the first thing is it's not about the advertisements. It's not about anything that we can put in media. I'm sorry.
Hey, look.
But it's
I disagree, but
but it's how do we feel? How do people feel when they come here for care? Right. Yeah. Somebody once said, they never remember what you said. They remember how they made them feel. And that's 100% true in healthcare. And so, we're going to have, it's not, people don't come to the hospital on their best day just to go to our fabulous cafeteria and have lunch, right? I do, but most of y'all don't come to the hospital for the food. And we have excellent food. So,
yeah, absolutely.
So,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
That I agree with.
But it's making sure, again, that we resource the nurses, that we resource the physicians, we resource the facility, so that everybody feels like they are being treated well from the nurses, from administration, and then the patients from the nurses. So. And our doctors, but making sure that they're resourced, making sure that we communicate, and that everybody understands, where we are, where we're going, and what our priorities are.
And as someone who, again, spent so much time in the military, I think part of the military is just learning to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And you've done that here. Have you had any big highlights other than maybe meeting everybody and meeting the community leaders here during your time thus far here in Cochise County?
Well, the highlight has to be the staff. The staff have been absolutely fabulous, and we should feel fortunate to have such a caring, really the heart of nursing is alive and well here in Canyon Vista. So very proud of the work that they're doing. Also, what has been very refreshing is, I got a lot of support from LifePoint in Paris, and when we came here, they've been nothing but support us, trying to figure out how we can increase our access to care for the community, so we're not sending people to Tucson for care. And so that, I think, is going to be what you'll see is probably the most evident, quickest win that you're going to see is for us to increase our capacity and for this 100-bed hospital to reach its potential. Well,
and my final question, with Scott Avery, the new CEO here at Canyon Vista Medical Center, it's someone you should know, with Jeff Davenport, brought to you by SSVEC. What do you see? A CEO covers a lot of ground, a lot of territory. What do you see as your most important role as the CEO here at Canyon Vista Medical Center?
Yeah, my most important role as the CEO is to resource the team and to provide them with fiscal resources, to provide them with leadership resources, to provide them with educational resources, for us to provide an environment that allows them to succeed and be the best them that they can be, and to have a pathway to reach whatever goals that they want. And then, of course, to provide that access to care in Sierra Vista.
Well, and this has been a great opportunity to get to know you. I appreciate it so much. I know you're so busy, but thank you so much for your time today, Scott.
Thank you.
He is definitely someone you should know, the new CEO here at Canyon Vista Medical Center on Highway 90 in Sierra Vista. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode, brought to you by our good friends at SSVEC, Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, serving our community. Make sure you stop by when you see him around the community, over at the grocery store or car dealerships or wherever he ends up at. You make sure you say hello to him and give him a big old welcome to our community here. We look forward to everything that you have in store for our area. Scott, thank you again for taking the time to talk to us. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. Please do us a favor, share this video around, tag your friends and family in here who are interested in things that are going on in the healthcare industry. Maybe you have some friends and family members who are in the healthcare programs at Cochise College or the U of A or Pima Community College. Make sure that you tag them and let them see what's going on here in Sierra Vista and Cochise County through the resources, the staff, the administration, the new CEO at Canyon Vista Medical Center. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
That was great.